Hi, happy June. As you can see, my backdrop has changed. It's because I've moved out of my apartment and now I'm living in my hometown. So this is my room. So this will be the default setting for this thing. Moving on. Anyways, I I kind of forgot about this thing because I did the one for me in like I think it was like first or second of May, and it was like very early on of the month, and I eventually I forgot about it. I thought at that point I was like, oh right, now I'm safe for this month. It's gonna take a while before I have to do the next one, and then like it's already the end of June. I was like, oh shoot, I haven't seen any movie, like not that I haven't seen any, but I haven't seen any that is like significant enough for me to talk about. And I've been thinking as well. It's like, should I talk about like a musical that I watch, or should I talk about like a series or something? But then I was like, those aren't movies. And then at the same time I thought like, wait, this is my channel, so I can just whatever I want. But then at the same time like, all right, I have to stay true to the what I've been doing. So yeah, I just finished the movie that I'm about to talk about, this movie is called Big World, and then it's totally different from what I've been like talking about before this. Before this, always it has been about a lot more on like horror, and then something that's like you know rack you have to rack your brain a little bit to understand. But this one, we're more in the emotional territory for now. I don't know why. I just thought like maybe I needed a good cry. I think I was just looking for a reason for me to just like to push out the tears because I needed to cry. So I like, yeah, I think it's time for me to watch this. So this movie, it's a Chinese movie, and it's about this boy slash man. The movie is about him like going into adulthood, and he has cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy. It's the condition where, oh my god, I forgot to do like research before like recording this video. So yeah, so he has cerebral palsy since he was born, and this movie is about how he navigates his life, how he handles prejudice and like views from other people. So the majority of this movie, he spends a lot of his time with his grandmother, who basically takes care of him. Even though he most of the time he doesn't really want his grandmother to like bring him around anywhere because he is fully capable of like bringing himself around and doing things that he want. But obviously as a grandmother, she was very cautious, not really cautious, like she tries to push him out as well, but as a grandmother, you're worried about him. And then so yeah, I think it's basically just an emotional movie. There weren't any like major events. Okay, maybe there's one, but it's not something that, oh, something's gonna happen to him and everyone's gonna change. And then it's not. Okay, wait, let me just unravel a little bit about everything. Okay, so yeah, so it's just about him navigating life, and he lives in a house with his parents, but his parents are um they are working, so they're not at home much, so most of the time he is with his grandmother. But then uh things starts to uncover a little bit. We realize that his parents, especially his mother, is a bit controlling of what he can do and where he can go. Is um, like he's trying to apply for university, but his mother insists that he needs to go to any university that's close to like where they're staying at, but he wanted to go to someplace else, a different university. For some reason, it was called the normal university, and I thought they were saying like in a general way, like, oh, he wanted to go to a normal university instead of any university that they have in that area. Supposedly that it's not, it's like maybe it's like something different, like a different kind of university that they have in the area. So when he was saying that, oh, he wanted to go to a normal university, I thought they were talking in like in a general way, but turns out it was like a specific university that is called normal university. I think there must be something like a translation mismatch or something, but I think it's kind of funny. Anyways, yeah, so he wanted to go to the normal university, which is like 90 minutes away by train. So his mother doesn't like that. His mother insists that he goes to the ones that is close to them. And then his mother also didn't really want him to go out to, he's capable of finding his own job, getting a driver's license, but his mother didn't want him to do that, didn't want him to interact with other people. And after some time, it was revealed that his mother was actually kind of embarrassed of him, and it's like she didn't want other people to know much about what his kid is. He doesn't want like his son, she doesn't want her son to be judged by other people, doesn't want to be seen. She wanted him to be like in the safe space where everything is controlled. And obviously he didn't like that because he wants to explore the world on his own. So while she was away, his mother was away for a work trip, his grandmother has been bringing him around here and there, like just breaking every rules that his mother has made. So his grandmother made him join like her choir group and tried to insist that he can play the drums to replace the drummer in the band. And then eventually he agrees that he wanted to do it, and he practiced with his condition. But then he turns out to be like this decent for to be part of the band. And then from them, I sort of think that he gains his confidence a little bit, and he also made a new friend. Like he has a crush on a girl that helped him while he was practicing, who was kind to him, treating him like a normal person. He has a crush on this girl and that, and then it develops into him thinking about himself, like he is capable of doing normal things that normal people are doing, and he's capable of going to the normal university. Anyways, yeah, I think it's just like a very, you can see that throughout his upbringing, as he was growing up, he was like what do you say, that compressed, no, like hide all these feelings that he had, like his not being confident in himself, not being that feeling that he is not loved by his own parents, and then eventually it all breaks out. He realized that, and yeah, he sort of like burst out into emotions and like just telling straight to his mom, that saying that she didn't love him, she doesn't care about him and all that. And his mom agreed, surprisingly, that she said that this is the life that, the unfortunate life that she has, unfortunate thing that she has to deal with. That, and it's so sad, like your own mother, who's supposed to like protect you, who's supposed to understand you when you're in that situation, to be the person who turns out hates you the most. And it's kind of crazy, like saying that. And then there's one scene that I think that hit me the most, and it was established that he has a habit of like curling up into a luggage and then just laying in there and then just closing the lid, possibly trying to hide himself. And then there was this one scene when he did that when he was a kid, and then his parents just couldn't find him, but they weren't panicking or anything. It was like, should we just check outside, or like, is he gonna come back, everything. And then while he was still in the luggage in the living room, his parents were just sitting there and just like just sitting talking. And then they said, maybe if he actually went missing, our life's gonna get better. And I was like, oh my god, imagine being him as the kid in the luggage, hearing that from your parents. It must be so freaking heartbreaking. Like, oh my god, like I bawled my eyes out like during that scene. And it's just so crazy. Yeah, but then eventually, like, his mother apologized to him. She actually like she didn't actually hate him because of how he is. She hates the fact that she feels that she did something wrong during the birth which caused him to be like that, and seeing him, it reminds her of her own failure. I mean, yeah, I get, but then everything went well with them, the whole family, and then like things recover. He gets his own chance to like study, and he got to do the things that he wanted. And his grandma, grandma, his grandma was like always around him during that time. It's like, it's a pretty much like just an overall touching, heartbreaking, mellow movie that I guess if you want to watch it, you can. It's on Netflix. Yeah, but something that made me wonder while I was watching this movie is why. Okay, so this guy who has like this condition, and then there's this girl who's like pretty, who's like young and cheerful, who is interested in him, like treating him like how he wanted to, treating him like a normal person. And there is like a bit of romance there, if you will. I cannot imagine like someone doing a movie like this with the roles reversed, you know? Like, let's say like a girl is the one who has this condition, and then there's this guy, a charming guy, who just treats her like a normal person. Like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't do any research before recording this, but like I cannot imagine if there's anything like that. And the one that I only know is if it's like, I think in some animes like the girl is like deaf or like blind, but those conditions, like, you don't actually see that in their physicality. Like, they're still conventionally like beautiful people, human being, and then it's like a guy who's like being nice to her. But can you imagine if like an actress, like a really beautiful actress, because this actor, he's actually like a normal, without any conditions, he's acting as someone who has the condition. But I think him as an actor is quite, like, he looks fine. Okay, but can you imagine if like an actress, a good looking actress, acting that way, acting to have that condition, and then I think it like reflects in the real world. Like, I don't have like a specific data on this, but it is like typically known that women who their partner, especially their husband, who eventually got sick or got diagnosed with like certain conditions, they tend to like really care about their husband until whatever the end of whichever time. And then they tend to stay loyal, even though like she has to go through all this difficulty of taking care of this disabled partner. But if the roles were reversed, like, the man would just leave right away. They don't want to deal with that anymore. Like, why would they stay with someone, with a girl who basically has no value to him, right? And I just think it's so sad, because I want to see like maybe there is somewhere out there, I want to see like what would it be like if the roles were reversed? If like it's a girl who has this condition, how would like the guy treat her? How would it be different? How different would it be? Because it's always those conversations like, I mean, not even like about disabilities, even just about appearance. They're talking about this like appearance gap, you know, when one character, the male is more attractive than a female character, or the female character is more attractive than the main character. And then when you look at it, typically in like in the media, in the shows that we have, especially, I think the most common example is like old American sitcoms. It's like when the husband is like, it's like fat, kind of balding. It's like it was just very normal looking person, but then the wife is such a baddie, such a hottie, and like you would think like, how does a man like that gets a woman like that? But then like it's very normal in those industry for people to like, yeah, that's fine. Like a man like that deserves a woman like that. But when the roles is reversed, you don't really see any depictions or any representations of like a very charming man with like a very normal looking girl. I mean, it's not even normal. Let's say like maybe she's like not conventionally pretty. Let's say you don't really see that, right? It's because that you don't typically see that in the real world. Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about that, but obviously I didn't look into it that much into the real world like data, statistics, and all that. But it's just from what I observe and what I hear from what people say. Yeah, I mean, still, I mean, it doesn't negate the fact that he deserves to like be happy to like whoever he likes, as in the character in this movie. It's just like I just randomly thought about that. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's all for for like this month movie review. I forgot to say that if you're interested to watch this movie, you should just watch that first and then watch this video, because I also forgot to talk about like some spoiler alerts. But yeah, see you next month.